Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. February is now over, which means it's book haul time. So February was my birthday month and I did get some birthday books, so I'll share my haul from that. I also got quite a few new books, new romances from publishers last month, as well as new special editions that I collected. Although I will say there wasn't too many of the special editions last month. I mostly just bought stuff and I'm waiting for them to come in, but let's just jump into it. Here are all the new books that I got, and yes, I am most likely going to be filming an unhaul video sometime soon because that needs to happen. I always like to start off with the arcs that I get. I got a good amount of arcs last month, and a lot of them I'm just so freaking hyped about. The arc that I was the most excited to get out of all the ones that I got was This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, which is actually going to be out by the time I post this video. But this one is the beautiful sequel to Before I Let Go. It's book 2 in the Skyland series. It is Soledad's story, her romance, her journey. It's a single parent romance. Both the main characters are single parents. I believe there's some sort of forbidden romance, like some element of forbiddenness here. There is autism rep and of course the whole friend group, the girlfriend group from book 1. I haven't read it yet. I've been saving it more towards the end of March because it's our March book club read for Ravished by Romance. But I just remembered that Kennedy Ryan is going on tour and she's making a stop in SoCal in Long Beach, which I will be going to, so I probably should read this before I go to that signing. Either way, I love everything Kennedy Ryan and I am more than sure that I'll end up loving this one. And then here is an arc of One Last Word by Suzanne Park. This one sounds super unique, so interesting, because the heroine, she develops this app where once you die, you can send a message to your loved ones. Unfortunately, a girl by the same name as this heroine dies, and it's the heroine's messages who get accidentally sent out, and they're sent out to her emotionally charged mother, a former best friend who ghosted her, and her unrequited high school crush. So very dramatic, and of course she reunites with that former high school crush. So it's an Asian romance, a STEM romance, and it sounds perfect for me. And then this one is Sounds Like a Plan by Pamela Samuels Young and Dwayne Alexander Smith. It's about two rival Black private investigators reluctantly joining forces to solve a missing persons case. They're both based in LA and they hate each other, so it's enemies to lovers. It sounds very fun. So they're trying to solve this case together, collaborate together, all while a small army of killers is in hot pursuit. And then I got an early copy of an upcoming Nisha Sharma book. It's called The Letters We Keep, and it is new adult. Both the main characters are in college. The heroine is an ambitious freshman and an aspiring engineer, and the hero is a privileged billionaire nepo baby. And there's this haunted story at their school where two lovers disappeared in a mysterious fire, and the main characters here end up finding letters from that couple who died. So it's a mystery, maybe a murder mystery set at a college. I love Nisha Sharma, but I've only read her adult romances, but I'm sure this new adult one will also be just as good. And then another highly anticipated romance for me is the new Abby Jimenez. It's called Just for the Summer, and it's got the brightest colored cover ever. I love Abby's writing, so I cannot wait to get to this one, but this is about two main characters who are very cursed in love, and they decide to get in a relationship to try to cancel out those curses. So it's a relationship that's supposed to be just for the summer, but of course it ends up being more. And then this arc is of a fantasy romance by a new to me author. It's How Does It Feel by Janine O'Reilly. It's book 1 in the Infatuated Fae series, so a fae romance. We have a forbidden obsession, unyielding family allegiance, and 3 deadly challenges. Oh my gosh, I love this blurb already. So the heroine is from the real world and she accidentally gets sent through a fairy portal and straight into the arms of the unseelie fae prince. And he is dangerously unhinged and viciously handsome. And he thinks that she is an assassin who's been sent to kill him. So he takes her captive. I am very intrigued. I do believe this one was originally an indie book and it got picked up by a publisher. So we'll see how good this is. I've never read this author before. I have been wanting to try new fantasy romance authors, so she's on my list now. It also came with some wonderful character artwork, but if any of you have read this one, let me know your thoughts. And here is an arc of a debut author. It's a debut romance. It's called The Next Best Fling by Gabriela Gamez, and the cover is the cutest thing ever. I love Lenny Kaufman's covers every single time. So it's book 1 in the Librarians in Love series. So we have a librarian romance. It says, two broken hearts decide that the best way to get over their first loves is with a no strings attached relationship in this spicy and charming debut romance. I am praying this one is actually spicy. I feel like Forever is pretty good when it comes to spice in their books, no matter the covers. Okay, we have a bit of a love square here. So the heroine is a librarian and she's in love with her best friend who is about to get married. The hero is that best friend's older brother. He's an ex-NFL player and he's in love with his brother's fiance. So he wants the bride, she wants the groom, but everyone now believes that these two hooked up when they show up together at brunch. So they end up faking a relationship to hide their feelings for the couple getting married. It sounds very fun, a good mix of a wedding romance with fake dating, and I'm just excited to try a new to me author. And then this one is a Claire Legrand arc of A Song of Ash and Moonlight, which is book 2 in the Middle Mist trilogy. It's the sequel to A Crown of Ivy and Glass, which I still haven't read yet. I remember it being marketed as like a fantasy version of Bridgerton, and it is Enemies to Lovers. This is The Scenic Route by Katie Ruggles, and we have a joke on the back. It says, why date a mountain man? Because climbing him will leave you breathless. It's the first book in a new upcoming series called Beneath the Wild Sky. The heroine is a bounty hunter and her estranged mom has just gone missing. So she tries to find her all the while the hero, who is this mountain man and he's also a PI, he's following her. Also got some cute stickers with even more jokes. There's I want to climb that mountain man. He really piqued my interest. And this arc is Better Left Unsent by Leah Lewis. The heroine is a receptionist and apparently every time she gets mad she writes an email to that person but saves it in her drafts. But after a server outage, every single one of her emails gets sent. So this includes sarcastic replies to her rude boss, hard truths to her friends, and a page-long love declaration to her ex, who is now engaged to someone else. And then the final arc that I got is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This one is the second book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, the sequel to The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This book did technically already release as an indie book originally, but the series got picked up by a publisher, so this is the arc of the second book. I read book 1 last year. I did really enjoy it, but I've been holding off on reading the sequel for some reason, but it is on my TBR for 2024. Oh, and it's a fantasy romance with vampires with wings. Before we get on with the rest of this video, I wanted to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Megan Quinn, and her new release, The Reason I Married Him. The Reason I Married Him is an enemies to lovers, a marriage of convenience rom-com. The main characters do not like each other, and the hero lives to annoy the heroine. He comes up with a proposal though, because they both need to get married for different reasons. She needs to marry him in order to get some farmland, and he needs to marry her in order to inherit this family cabin that was left to him in his grandfather's will. So this is when the marriage of convenience comes in. She says yes, and they have to fake it to their small town. They end up living together, so there's some good forced proximity, and of course there's only one bed. They slowly start to fall for each other, just maybe forgetting that they hate each other. So if you need a steamy, laugh out loud romantic comedy, check out The Reason I Married Him by Megan Quinn. I'll leave a link down below for you to check it out. And now back to the rest of this video. And then here are some books that publisher sent me, some new releases. First up is First Down by Grace Riley. This is the new publisher edition. It was originally an indie book, and it says it's a special edition on the cover, but I'm not entirely sure what makes it a special edition. Maybe a bonus chapter, bonus content. But if you couldn't tell, this is a sports romance. It's a football romance. It's new adult, it's in college. The hero is the star quarterback. Of course, he is failing one of his classes, so he needs some help, he needs a tutor, and that's where the heroine comes in. There's also fake dating here. The heroine's ex won't leave her alone, and he is on the football team. So the main characters pretend to be a couple to get her ex off her back. It sounds very classic new adult sports romance. I still have not read this author. I know she's pretty big, pretty viral. I mean, her whole sports romance series got picked up by a publisher, so I will eventually get to reading her. And then this is the Frame Up by Gwenda Bond. It's got an adorable cover. It is a paranormal romance. It's got witches and magic. The heroine is the daughter of a famous art thief, but she narked on her mom and turned her in to the FBI. But now she needs to reunite with an old crew to pull off this big heist. She reunites with her former best friend, who is also the love of her life, and there's a lot of magic involved. Here is the new publisher edition of The Air He Breathes by Brittany Cherry. This is an old indie book that was super popular back in the day, but the whole series did get recently picked up. So this is book 1 in the Element series, and this copy is also signed. I can't tell if it's digital. I think it's a digital signature, and there's a step back in here. Like, how perfect is this? I love it so much. And yes, I did read this one long ago. I barely remember it. All I know is that it's a small town romance and it's super angsty and emotional, and the hero is tortured beyond belief. Torn by Karen Cole is also another indie book that recently got picked up by a publisher. It's literally the 2010s, like the romance community in the 2010s all over again. But this one I also have read. It's a very angsty, forbidden age gap romance. The hero is 15 years older than the heroine, and he is her dad's best friend. This one I also read quite a while ago. I remember listening to the audiobook, but I did like it. Here is the pretty finished copy of That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. This was one of our book club reads for Ravished by Romance, and I liked it okay. It's a very like silly, lighthearted, fun fantasy romance. Like, it's a fantasy rom-com. The heroine is this spice trader and the hero is a demon that she accidentally stumbles upon. And then this cute book is Till There Was You by Lindsay Hammeroff, who I have not read before, but I adore this cover so much because the little dots on the eye, it's a freaking blueberry. So obviously this is a foodie romance. The heroine wants to be an executive chef for a Michelin-starred restaurant. She meets the hero, who is this dive bar musician. They have a one-night stand. She never expects to see him again, but overnight he becomes literally an overnight sensation because of a song about her famous blueberry pancake recipe. That is a sentence that I never thought I would read, but it's a foodie romance mixed with a sort of rock star romance, but I love foodie romances, so I'm into this one. Here is the new Susan Elizabeth Phillips book. It's her new Chicago Star series, her sports romance series. It's called Simply the Best. The hero is a sports agent, and the heroine is the sister of one of his biggest clients. I actually love Susan Elizabeth Phillips, but I haven't read her in a long time, and I never really read any of her newer books. I've only read her older stuff. Like, Kiss an Angel is one of my all-time favorite books, and I have read some of the earlier Chicago Stars books, but yeah, I haven't really touched any of her recent releases, and I do at least want to try to read the Chicago Star series in order. And I got this cute little package from Avon Books. It's for Tessa Bailey. I got her new release, Fangirl Down, which is her sports romance. It's a golf romance, and it was adorable. I really liked it. And it's got the biggest grumpy hero ever. So we have a Wells Bells bag, some pencils that says Unhappy Gilmore, Fangirl Life, and Making Golf Sexy. Here's a little Fangirl Down notebook and a golf ball. This package is for the new Elle Kennedy, which I still need to read. I am so excited about it. It's called Girl Abroad, and it's a new adult romance. The heroine studies abroad in England. She arrives in London only to find out that her new roommates are actually all guys. And of course there's no fraternization allowed, and there's a freaking love triangle. The love interest is her rugby player roommate, and the other is a broody musician with a girlfriend. I adore everything Elle Kennedy, so I'm sure I'll love it, but here are some goodies that was inside the package. So this one, I don't know what this is actually. It's like a fire hydrant, a keychain. Here's a pen, 2 Girl Abroad luggage tags, a notebook, and some cute character art. It's the heroine and her love triangle. Ooh, there's also a plane ticket from Los Angeles to London and a sticker that says, "Hello, my favorite trope is love triangle." And then I have a couple unopened packages. So this one is for Cara Bastone. So here is the paperback for Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, which is a pretty recent release. It's a surprise pregnancy romance. It's got friends to lovers, and the heroine is pregnant with another man's baby. It is not the hero's baby. I've heard great things about this one. I have read this author before and I do like her. I like her writing, and I just got the audiobook downloaded, so I'll probably get to it soon. And then here's a box from Harlequin. I got the Friendship Study by Ruby Barrett. I love this cover, and it's about a paid psychology study that both the main characters sign up for. They're paired up together for this friendship study, but the only thing is that they actually met before. They met on a blind date, and the hero ended up ghosting the heroine after. And then this is Wildlife by Opal Way. The heroine wants to cure cancer, the hero wants to run an animal sanctuary, and she accidentally sends this tissue sample to him, so she has to track it down. And then these cute boxes are from Del Rey. They are so cute. It says book mail and then the picture of the book that's inside. So this one is for the new Catherine Arden. There's a couple goodies inside, and of course the book, which is The Warm Hands of Ghosts. It's historical fiction. It's set during the Great War, but it's got like a magical twist to it. And then inside are some prints. So this one is like an ad, and this one is a gothic artwork. It also came with a dog tag and some hot cocoa from Tim Hortons. And then here is the other box from Del Rey. It's for the new Danielle L. Jensen fantasy romance. It's called A Fate Inked in Blood, and it is such a beautiful book. Like, this cover is nice, and then look at these sprayed edges. They're this metallic sky blue color. I still have yet to read Danielle L. Jensen. She is on my TBR, but this one I believe is like a Viking inspired fantasy. It's Norse inspired. It says, a shield maiden blessed by the gods battles to unite a nation under a power-hungry king while fighting her growing desire for his fiery son. Here's a very nice looking art print. I freaking love character art prints. A temporary tattoo, some chocolate, and a candle. Here is yet another pretty box that I got. It says, your TBR pile just got sweeter. Oh my goodness, this box looks so nice. So inside here is a tea bag, a little bee tattoo, ooh, a signed book plate, a bookmark, the book itself, which is The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. It looks so pretty. So this one is also an ARC. It's not out until May, and it says, the Honey Witch of Innisfree can never find true love. That is her curse to bear. But when a young woman who doesn't believe in magic arrives on the island, sparks fly in this deliciously sweet debut novel of magic, hope, and love overcoming all. So it's a sapphic fantasy romance, maybe even a cozy fantasy. But look what's also inside this box. A little jar of honey, and then of course the honeycomb. And then these two boxes are from Penguin Random House, probably Berkeley books. Okay, let me open up this first one. Ooh, okay, so this one is not Berkeley, but it's another Penguin Random House imprint. So this is the new finished copy of Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. It's another indie book that got picked up by a publisher. It's got this cute new illustrated cover. It is definitely an improvement from the original, in my opinion. But I have read this one. I didn't love it as much as everyone else did, but I still want to read more from this author. It's basically about two guardians who move in together to take care of their younger siblings. And then this one is The Tearsmith by Aaron Doom. It says, a gripping tale of impossible love. And there's also some foiling on the cover. I don't know if you can see it at all on the camera. I've never heard of this one before, but it's a noodle romance about two orphan teens who get adopted into the same family. It also sounds like there might be some paranormal or fantastical twist to this book. And it was originally published in Italian. It was published in Italy back in 2021. So it must have been a pretty popular book there. It's also quite big, quite thick. I definitely want to look up some reviews for this one. Okay, here are the Berkeley books. So this is Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. This is her newest contemporary romance, and it sounds so good. I really like this author. I mean, I've only read one book from her, Mr. Wrong Number, but I love that one, so I do want to read more. But this one sounds interesting because the heroine just found out that her fiance cheated on her and she wants to call off the wedding. And the hero, she finds out that his job is actually to interrupt weddings, to literally say I object at weddings, and she ends up joining him and working alongside him. Here are some more republished new editions. So this is Kill Switch by Penelope Douglas. It's book 3 in the Devil's Night series, one of my favorites from Penelope Douglas. This is Damon's book, and there is some bonus material. And this is Some Kind of Perfect by Krista and Becca Ritchie. It's the 10th and final book in the Addicted series, which is one of my all-time favorite series. It is so good, and this book was everything. So now we have the whole series out in these white flower covers, and the whole series is gonna look so good all lined up. I got this big box from Berkeley too. They just decided to send out so many things last month. Here's another Penelope Douglas book. This is the publisher edition of Credence, and they did actually keep the same cover for this one. I don't even know how to describe this book. It's wild, it's hot, and it's absolutely one of my favorites from Penelope Douglas. These are 2 new Chloe Lease books, or 2 new republished books from her. They're part of the Bergman Brothers series. So this one is Everything for You, which is the romance. There's Soccer, Enemies to Lovers, and An Age Gap. And this one is If Only You, which is actually a Bergman sister romance. I'm guessing she is the one sister in this family. I've never read the series, but I know so many people love it. So we have a longtime good girl and an unapologetic bad boy. In this slow burn sports romance, it's hockey, and the hero is also the heroine's brother's best friend. His hockey career is about to end until they start up a whole fake dating scheme to revive it. Here is The Spy and I by Giana Smith. This one sounds fantastic. After a case of mistaken identity, one woman must work with her sister's sexy spy partner to save the world. It actually kind of reminds me of the Ally Carter romance, her adult spy romance, where the heroine gets mistaken for her sister, but I am always here for a spy romance. And then here is The Partner Plot by Christina Forrest. This one is a marriage of convenience romance. It's also Second Chance, my favorite. The main characters were former high school sweethearts. They run into each other in Vegas, and of course they get drunk and wake up the next day married to each other. I got another Krista and Becca Ritchie book. So this one is actually book 9 in the Addicted series. It's Long Way Down. It is Reich and Daisy's second book. This one was probably the hardest book in the series just because it is so insanely emotional. It makes my heart hurt thinking about it again, but anyway, that was the last book that I got from Berkeley from a publisher. But let me show you guys a couple books that I got from indie authors that I am so hyped about. Okay, so this one is the new Sophie Lark. She wrote a contemporary romance, like a straight up rom-com. It's called Love Contract. It's the first book in the Love Contract series, and it's a fake dating romance between 2 former high school enemies. Like, the hero here literally blackmails the heroine into getting him a meeting with her billionaire boss, because she works for the billionaire as his private chef, and somehow she ends up fake dating her blackmailer. I also got one of my favorite reads of 2024 so far. This is Serpentine Valentine by Giana Darling. This is a sapphic dark academia romance, and it is so good. It's a retelling of Medusa, and it's like a revenge story. One of the heroines wants revenge against her university president, so she goes after the president's daughter. It was incredibly well written, and also look at these cute little stickers that came with it. I especially love the Man-Eater Crew one. I also got an upcoming release that I have been dying for. This is My Dark Desire by Parker S. Huntington and LJ Shen. This is the sequel to My Dark Romeo, which I loved last year, and I'm so happy that we are getting like more books in that whole world. We're getting romances for the 2 best friends from My Dark Romeo. So My Dark Desire, this one is Zach's book, Zachary's son, and this cover is absolutely stunning. Do I know what this book is even about? No, I don't. There's no blurb on here, but all I know is that it's Zach, and I loved him in book 1, and I'm praying I love this one as much as My Dark Romeo. Here is a beautiful box that I got from Catherine Cowles for the final book in the Lost and Found series. Like, look at this. It's amazing. We have a cute little compass scrunchie, some sticky tabs and highlighters, a little notepad or some sticky notes, and some character tarot cards, this amazing tumbler. It's so beautiful and it fits so well with this book and this whole series. And of course, the book itself, which is Ashes of You. This is the 5th and final book in the Lost and Found series. It's small town romantic suspense, and it's also got a single dad who falls for his new nanny. And then this amazing box is for another Giana Darling book. It's for her Fallen Men series, and I am so in love because it's probably my favorite book in the Fallen Men series. So here is the beautiful paperback of Caution to the Wind. If you haven't read it, if you haven't read the Fallen Men series, it's an MC romance series, but this one is an age gap romance between the heroine and her childhood best friend's stepdad. And then the stunning hardcover for Caution to the Wind with the female cover model. Love the white spine. Now that I have this, I'm like, I kind of want to get all the hardcovers with the female models now, but that's gonna be expensive. But here's a Street Ink beanie, a Purgatory Motel keychain. I don't know what this is, but it says Axeman. Some beautiful artwork of May and Axeman. A card that says Greetings from Entrance, Home of the Fallen MC. A koi fish temporary tattoo, and finally a Fallen Men notebook. Okay, now for my birthday haul, I did get a couple books from some friends who I'll tag everyone in my description. Be sure to check out their channels or their Instagrams. So this first one is Shallow River by H.G. Carlton, which I got from my friend Kimberly. This one is the one book that I still haven't read from H.G. Carlton. Actually, no, there's also a novella that I still need to read, but this is like the one older book that I really want to get to. It's a dark romance. It sounds like there's domestic abuse. I never really looked up this book. I just really wanted it because it's H.G. Carlton, and I became such a huge fan after the cat and mouse duet. Tori from A Novel Life got me this edition of Bully by Penelope Douglas. Penelope Douglas is like the one author that I want to collect everything from, and unfortunately there's like 1,000,001 editions from them now that they got picked up by a publisher. So thank you, Tori, for helping me with my collection. But this is Penelope Douglas's debut. This was the first book that started everything, my first read from them, and I'll forever love it because it was my first. And then these two Cassandra Gannon books are from Jessica from Peaceful Books and Christy from Christy Reads a Lot. I love everything Cassandra Gannon, even though I haven't read all of her books, but the ones that I've read I loved. She's a fantasy romance author, like a fantasy rom-com author. I always laugh so hard every time I pick up one of her books, and the romances are also so good. So these ones are fairy tale retellings. Beast in Shining Armor, obviously Beauty and the Beast, and the Kingpin of Camelot is like a mix of King Midas and the whole Camelot story. Samantha from Books with Samantha got me Pack Darling Part 2 by Lola Rock, which I'm so happy to have because I'm gonna be seeing her at a Polycon this year. I freaking love the Pack Darling series, so I'm excited to get this book signed. If you haven't read it yet, it is Reverse Harem, it's Why Choose, and it's Omegaverse. And also the second book, it's all groveling. Also, Samantha got me some paper crane jewelry in honor of Manacled. So this one is a necklace. She also got me earrings, but that's downstairs and I'm too lazy to get them. But they look exactly like the paper crane on this necklace. My girl Desiree got me these two books. One of my all-time favorites from last year, Caught Up by Liz Tomforde, which is a baseball romance. It's a single dad romance who falls for his nanny. Incredible. And then she also got me one of her favorite books. It's Enemies with Benefits by N.R. Walker. Desiree has talked about N.R. Walker for ages and I still haven't read her yet. So now I really have no excuse. It's MM and obviously Enemies with Benefits. And Tiffany from Tiff Talks Pages got me the final book in the Souls trilogy by Harley LaRue. This is Soul of a Witch. It's paranormal romance, it's a monster romance, we have a demon hero and a witch heroine. I have been dying to read this one since the main couple here was introduced in book 1. And then this one is not a book, but it's book related. It's a gift from my friend Sarah. She's author Sarah E. Green, and she got me the freaking Kindle clicker. I don't even know what you call it, but you hang it up by your head at your bedside and you stick your Kindle in it and you just click to turn the page without having to move anything. I told her if I got this, I would literally never move from my bed, so I still have yet to hang it up, but I am excited to try it out. And then before I get on to my new special editions, I did want to share a couple goodies that I got last month that are still kind of book related, but they're not actually books. So I did go to a Spotify Valentine's Day event for Valentine's Day, and I came home with some swag from Spotify. So this is a cute little tote bag, all of the different genres on Spotify that you can listen to. I'm wearing the Spotify sweater that it came with, and here is a giant candle, a Be My Galentine candle. This is the biggest candle that I own. And I also got the Olive and June collab with Colleen Hoover. They sent me the It Ends With Us box. It actually does come with a book. It's got a signed book plate, but inside we have a smaller box that actually looks like a book. It says it starts with beautiful nails, and then the side looks like paper, and then the back it's like a blurb, and then you can open it up like this, and it's basically a how-to guide on prepping your nails for nail polish. So the instructions are on this side, and then the tools are in here. There's top coat, a nail polish remover pot, a cute little bookmark, and a pouch with even more tools. And then of course the nail polish. So I think each book in this collab comes with like 2 of its own nail polishes and the press-ons. So for It Ends With Us, these are the 2 colors. This one is Brave Blush, a very light pink, almost nude. And this one is a deeper pink called Lily Blooms. And there is some glitter in it too. And then these are the corresponding press-on nails with the matching nail polish color. The top one with the light pink has some flower artwork on them, and then the bottom one with the deep pink, it's this magenta chrome design. And then for my special editions for the books that have been making me very poor. Okay, this one isn't really a special edition, but I guess it kind of counts. It's a Barnes & Noble edition of Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I totally forgot that I ordered it until they sent me a shipping email, but it's a special edition with the bonus content where Ali basically gushes all about Nalini Singh. So obviously I had to get this one, but also I love this book so much. It's also another one of my favorite reads of 2024. It's a paranormal romance, Ali's very first paranormal romance between a vampire heroine and a werewolf hero, and they enter a marriage of convenience. And then this one is a special edition of Salt Kiss by Sierra Simone. I still have not read this one, but these are the sprayed edges. Here's the back cover and the spine. So this dust jacket is actually the alternate side of the dust jacket. The front side is not really my favorite, so I keep it on the other side. But there's some pretty orange foiling and some more foiling on the naked hardcover. It's actually a lot of foiling on all sides too. The end paper artwork though, so pretty. It's poly. We have 3 characters, 2 heroes, and 1 heroine. I also got the latest Hello Lovely Box Trope of the Month book. Here's a little bookmark that says a good book is gold, and the book is a mafia romance. It's Sinful Vow by Asia Monique. I have not read this author before, but it does sound like it's also got a marriage of convenience. I also got myself the Afterlight special edition of Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. Okay, it came with some cute artwork, and here is the book. Honestly, this cover looks so dorky, but it's okay. I do like this book. I do at least love the sprayed edges, which matches with the back of the dust jacket. Here's the naked hardcover with Wells Bells stamped on it in foil. And then the end papers are definitely the best part. I kind of wish this artwork was on the dust jacket. So here are the front end papers, which is the same as the art print. And then the back end papers is one of my favorite scenes from the book, where the hero is giving the heroine a piggyback ride. And then because I adore Krista and Becca Ritchie, I had to get myself the special editions of the Bad Reputation duet. You can see both books here in this slipcase with some nice foil. And these are the beautiful hardcovers that match perfectly with the books. So book 1 is Whatever It Takes, and the main characters are huge comic book fans, so I do appreciate the comic book look and these are the sprayed edges. The end papers are really interesting. It's actually the questionnaire that the main characters filled out. It was in the beginning of the series, if I remember. Also, I totally forgot to mention that if you haven't read the series, this duet, it's a spin-off of the Addicted series. It's Garrison and Willow's romance, so this one is book 2, Wherever You Are. It's also got a super cute cover with some shiny lettering and sprayed edges, and same thing here with the questionnaire on book 2. And that's about it for this book haul. That was everything that I got back in February. As always, if you've read any of these books, let me know what you think, or let me know which ones are on your TBR. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!